Welcome back to Interesting Questions. We got a real interesting one today is the Oceangate incident. The video here that kind of, I guess, goes through um, the incident itself. Um, kind of like what happened exactly with the Oceangate. Um, there's a lot of theories going around about Oceangate, what happened because the CEO of the company um, met his demise on this journey, who was a billionaire, and then I think there were two other billionaires on there. I'm not 100% certain about that, but I think, and also one of the billionaires I think had his son on there. So this is recent history, you know, um, and what happened um, in this incident. But without further ado, um, we'll get to the video. But please like the video, subscribe. You know, I can use it as subscriptions. I really appreciate all you subscribers out there and all your likes. And um, share the video, share it with friends, family, and leave a comment. Leave a comment on what you think. And at the end, I'm going to leave my own kind of like little theory of what I think may have occurred here, which might kind of shock people about what I have to say, what my opinion may be on what happened here. But without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get to this video.
Users of TikTok and YouTube posted videos promoting what they described as a transcript or log of the last text messages sent and received by Titan, the submersible operated by Oceangate Expeditions. Shortly after starting its descent to explore the Titanic wreckage on June 18 morning, the Titan lost contact with the Canadian research icebreaker Polar Prince.
And this video comes to us from Weather Collapse.
According to
Thank
the
you for
US, there were 5 people on board when the sub reportedly imploded that morning, including Oceangate CEO Stockton Rush. The veracity of this purported transcript or log of the Titan sub's final text messages was unconfirmed due to a lack of evidence to back it up, as well as due to the absence of reporting from reliable sources. But just how reliable is this so-called transcript? Is it really just a fake as everyone says? First off, as numerous news outlets have reported, the Titan sub did indeed have the capability to send and receive what Oceangate referred to as text messages. The communications technology allowed for underwater acoustic positioning, as well as for short text messages to be sent back and forth to the surface vessel, according to the reporting from Scientific American. However, the amount of data that can be shared is limited and typically includes basic telemetry and status information. Now let's find out what the transcript itself reveals. The series of messages in the transcript corresponded to what Oceangate stated.
You know what's weird is I thought like these submersibles had kind of like an umbilical cord that kind of went to them. You know, like it was fed down as these submersibles dropped. But maybe that was in the past. So maybe it's a little, it's a little bit different now. How like these submersibles work. Like I said, I might be thinking, 20 years ago or something, 15, 20 years ago when these submersibles go down. But yeah, I just thought there was like some kind of umbilical system or something that would feed oxygen and do stuff. But I guess this thing was independent this craft itself was independent of all that. So
On its website about the necessity of communication every 15 minutes. Likewise, the messages appeared to be consistent with what movie director James Cameron himself believed might have been going on in the submarine's final moments. A user left the following comment under one of the TikTok videos that promoted the unconfirmed transcript. So the passengers and Rush heard the hull failing with their own ears. James Cameron was correct. Chilling. This user, who appeared to accept the transcript at face value, was making reference to an interview with Cameron, in which he discussed some details of a story that later also showed up in the claimed text messages. According to what we could ascertain, Cameron has since remained silent regarding the online circulating transcript. James Cameron, the director of the 1997 film Titanic, who won an Oscar for his work, has a long history of making deep-sea submersible dives, some of which have gone much deeper than Titanic.
Well, yeah, he made the movie The Abyss, um, which was a very good film, very interesting. It's about like a deep sea submersible that goes down to the ocean. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It's actually a really good movie.
On June 2022, Cameron said, this Oceangate sub had sensors on the inside of the hull to give them a warning when it was starting to crack. They probably had a warning that their hull was beginning to delaminate and crack because, as Bob Ballard pointed out, we understand from inside the community that they had dropped their ascent weights and were coming up, trying to manage the emergency. The transcript was later analyzed by engineer Jeff Ostros. According to him, the communications show that the Titan sub was descending at a much too rapid rate based on the depth and speed recorded during the descent. According to the calculations, they would have reached the Titanic wreck about an hour earlier than anticipated. The submersible was supposed to be descending at a safe rate of 25.33 meters per minute, according to engineer Jeff Ostroff. The transcript indicates that they were 756 meters below the surface when they should have only been 532 meters when the ride started at 21 minutes. Mathematically, the sub should have only been at 1,292 meters, 51 minutes into the descent when the sub recorded a depth of 1,934 meters.
So it appears that the sub was descending much faster, like to what I can understand by that. It seems like it was descending much faster than it was supposed to, like literally like almost 600 meters faster than what the calculated time was for it.
The Titan should have only been at a depth of 1,950 meters at this time rather than the 2,960 meters that was according to the communication.
Okay, so that's like 1,000 more meters than it should have been at that precise time.
Which indicated that everything was fine on board and that they were 77 minutes into the dive. The math indicates that the sub has been descending far too quickly. According to the leaked transcript, the Titan's first indication of trouble came from a message sent at 9:28 a.m. that said, "We're noting an alarm from the RTM real-time monitoring system." At that point, it was decided to lower the sub's velocity so it wouldn't keep descending so quickly. The Titan crew was reportedly 88 minutes into the dive at that point, and even though they should have been at 229 meters at that speed, 25.33 meters per minute, they were actually much lower at 3,433 meters indicated by the transcript. At that time, they would have been just 400 meters from the Titanic wreck that was 3,800 meters underwater and an hour early. Any structural problems with the ship were supposed to be reported to the crew by the RTM. The crew was unable to pinpoint the exact source of the crackling sounds, which were coming from the pointed end of the sub, but the RTM was reported to be lit up all red according to the transcript. The smaller, pointed end of the sub, which was enclosed by a wall on the inside, appeared to be the source of the crackling noise. The Titan crew had made an effort to stop the descent, and according to reports, the ship was only ascending slowly 60 feet in 3 minutes and the power system was failing. The Titan's final message, which stated, reading read on the R power bus, "I switched to be at 3,457 meters more sounds aft," was sent at 9 hours, 46 minutes, 37 seconds. The crew had stopped using punctuation at this point, and the communications were written in a disorganized manner, suggesting that they were probably in a panic.
In a panic, or maybe just they became disoriented or something. I mean, you could think pressure pushing down around you, It's like me. I could drive up to the mountains and my ears start to pop. So you can only imagine what pressure like that if it was closing in on them. I don't know exactly how that works at those types of depths, but I could imagine being at those depths. Um, yeah, that might do something. It could do something to to your skull, your brain, your body, all kinds of stuff. So
Solar Prince tried to contact the sub again after the Titan's final message was transmitted, but he was unsuccessful. Where exactly did the transcript originate from? The users of TikTok and YouTube who posted the alleged transcript appeared to do so with a disclaimer that they weren't sure of its veracity. A TikTok user posted a video of the messages on an unidentified date in late June and stated at the beginning of the clip that they were unconfirmed. The video has since received more than 360,000 views. A video titled Messages Between Titan Sub and Crew on Top, Horrific Tale, What Actually Happened on That Morning was uploaded on July 1 by the creator or creators of the GS Academy Pakistan YouTube channel. The video, which has amassed more than 125,000 views, includes a description that identifies its source as a unilad.com article. That article, however, was not accessible, indicating that it had either been deleted or had never existed in the first place. Another TikTok user published a video of the messages on.
so it's like there was a cover up or somebody fabricated information. From what I can gather from that, it seems that either someone fabricated information or there was actual data from a log and they deleted it. They got rid of it. Well, why? I don't know. That seems odd to me.
On July 2 without mentioning that the transcript had not yet been verified. There were over 3.6 million views of that video. The transcript was also published on July 5 by the verified YouTube channel Jefferstroff, who cited several TikTokers and also an educational Pakistani YouTube channel, most likely referring to GS Academy Pakistan. The disclaimer at the beginning of the video, which had received 2.2 million views as of this time, stated that they were unable to verify the veracity of the transcript. Regarding the alleged transcript itself, the earliest pastebin.com posting we could find was from June 29. It's possible that all of the aforementioned TikTok and YouTube videos predate this posting. These dubious videos with unclear sources and citations further fuel doubt about the authenticity of the matter itself. After all, if the information was real.
So yeah, that gives credence to the fact that, obviously, when you have an event like this that is very publicized, it's in the media, it's on the news, it's all over CNN and it's all over Fox News and it's all over the internet or something. You have to take in consideration that yes, there's probably going to be people who are going to put out data or information out there that is probably inaccurate. One or two is just totally completely patently false. So that's a very good possibility. But it's tragic. What happened. But I've seen other videos on this, and the CEO bragged about how he was able to build this submersible. They kind of said like he was cutting corners. I'm not saying that. This is what I heard, that he had cut corners to do this in kind of a cheap manner to maximize the amount of profits that he could make by sending these types of submersibles underwater. And like I said, I'm not saying that, but I've seen other videos on this that have proclaimed that. And if that's the case, then in a way, he kind of set his own self up. If that's the case, I don't know why you would cut corners to do that to yourself, but
Then it shouldn't have come out of thin air. It can also be a leak from the company, Oceangate, but they have not released any information for the time being. Did this catch your interest? Please subscribe to Weather Collapse if you
Yeah, check out Weather Collapse. Um, you know, appreciate them making the video for kind of, for me to piggyback on. But yeah, it was very interesting. But like I said, I mean, in this case, all the money in the world, I guess, can't save you because I think there was like 3 billionaires on this submersible. But like I said at the end of the video, I was going to give kind of my own theory, conspiracy theory behind this. But imagine, you, it's sort of like the limelight, rich and famous. Like I don't want to be famous, I just want to be rich. So if one of my conspiracy, this is my conspiracy theory behind this, is um, what better way to send a submersible down with no one on it, let it implode, and just, I can disappear off the face of the planet. And they go, oh, hey, aren't you the CEO guy from that Oceangate company? Nah, I get that all the time. I don't know, people tell me that all the time. And you could just disappear. You could go to your private island, and you know, and or you could travel the world and nobody knows who, no one knows who you are, and if people recognize you, you just say, nah, I get that all the time, I'm not that guy, and you could just disappear, like the conspiracy theories behind like Tupac, and oh, he's not dead, and or Michael Jackson and he faked his own death, so Elvis Presley, and there's so many people in history where there's fortune and fame, and some people don't want the fame, they just want the fortune. And I'm saying that that's a possibility. But if you enjoyed my commentary on this video, please smash that like button, as they say. Subscribe. I need some subscribers. I'm just getting started at this, and I could really use the help. Share the video. You like my commentary on this? Share it, and leave a comment below. Let me know how I'm doing. I really appreciate it. But on that note, peace.